Sepia tone. Also, using sepia tone to avoid the appearance of black and white for some reason.
One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties.
You never went back for Susan, ass, and when you do meet up again, the two of you are forced together. Creative episode titles. Also, inaccurate episode titles, aka not Robert Holmes. And yes, I understand the importance of Terrence Dicks to the Doctor Who canon, but f*** it. Why would he need to polish a new console? Also, this is the literal equivalent of polishing a turd.
Finished?
Tegan.
You mean it's just as unreliable?
You have little faith, Tegan.
I find Tegan's lack of faith disturbing. Kids everywhere would be doing that to their NESs in 2 years. Also, hitting faulty machinery makes it work cliche. Turla. The super bright, peaceful Eye of Orion definitely looks nothing like a cloudy English countryside.
It's like Earth after a thunderstorm.
Same cause and reason.
Oh, f*** off. Also, the Eye of Orion is supposed to be untouched by intelligent life, but these are clearly buildings and those are clearly roads. Face-hidden bad guy in the dark cliche. I know he's dead, but this isn't William Hartnell. At what point in time would the first Doctor be traveling alone? I could give them the benefit of the doubt and believe he's just simply alone right now. In which case, where could he be that he would allow himself to be separated from, most likely, Ben and Polly? Wait, what's that? Oh no, it's a triangle! Why didn't an advanced race of time-traveling aliens render the time scoop device as a two-dimensional triangle? Or, if Barusa created it, why did he make it this way?
Just a twinge of cosmic angst.
Cosmic?
Perhaps it's the pressures of being young.
There was one chap we tried to get hold of. What was his name? Used to be your scientific advisor?
Oh, the Doctor.
Yes, that's right.
This would be a Speak of the Devil scenario, but he's the main character, not f***ing Omar.
Wonderful chap. All of them.
No, all of him. There are multiple doctors, but he's the same person.
I was here.
I'm sorry, sir, you're not allowed in there.
Not allowed? Me?
When in the second Doctor's timeline would he be traveling alone?
Oh, thank you.
The second Doctor is addicted to this guy.
I'm not too late, am I?
What for?
For your speech, as guest of honor.
How did you know?
I saw it in the Times.
That's impossible. The reporter's still here.
Tomorrow's Times.
Wah, wah.
You've had this place redecorated, haven't you? Don't like it.
Who was that strange little man?
The Doctor.
Who?
You were just talking about him.
Yes. Yeti. Cybermen. We've seen some times, Doctor.
And Omega. Don't forget Omega.
As if I could.
And the terrible Zodin.
Who?
Oh, you weren't concerned with her, were you?
This series has an awful habit of talking about we never get to see, and the event most often brought up is about the terrible Zodin. To this day, we have no idea what it is or what happened regarding it.
Well, I must say goodbye, Brigadier. I really shouldn't be here at all. I'm not exactly breaking the laws of time, but I am bending them a little.
He alludes to his banishment to Earth, but the Time Lords force him to regenerate and then he wound up in the middle of nowhere, so how is he even here right now? The triangle appears from the right despite being behind them. Don't you just love these photos?
Great chunks of my past, detaching themselves like melting icebergs. Ha!
Don't you hate it when people's pasts are being affected, but all this drama is unnecessary because we all know what happens in the end, rendering this drama moot? Okay, we get a musical cue.
Great balls of fire.
Goodness gracious. The Doctor doesn't use Bessie's inertia-defying mechanism to punch it.
Good old Bessie.
Premature sigh of release is premature, or I could have just said, and then the opposite happens cliche. We could have just had him captured by the triangle and save about 10 seconds worth of screen time.
A man is the sum of his memories, you know, a Time Lord even more so.
That summation is pernicious at best.
Mistress, do not go out.
If you didn't know that Sarah Jane and K9 were supposed to have a spin-off together, this moment is confusing as they didn't spend any time together on the show.
What kind of danger?
Positive data not yet available.
What good are you then?
Well, now I know you're imagining things. See you later.
Sarah Jane has had K9 for a while now, right? So she should be 100% attentive when something that the Doctor gave her is warning her about imminent danger. However, because we need Sarah Jane to be involved, she doesn't listen. When using shots from an unreleased shada, do not afterwards release said shada.
Isn't it wonderful how something so primitive can be so...
Question?
No, simple.
That's essentially what primitive means, Romana.
Oh, I do love the autumn. All the leaves.
Romana reminds me that autumn leaves exists. Sorry for the padding, but that's definitely a sin. Episode titled The Five Doctors does not feature a Tom Baker. I don't care that not being part of this episode is one of his biggest regrets. It deserves 10 sins. That being said, it's time to bring up these abysmal promo pics. I guess now would be a good time to ask how where the figurines are placed determines where anyone ends up in the dead zone. Oh my f***ing god, we get it!
What's going on?
We've landed.
The Doctor knew where to go, somehow.
With all due respect, Lord President, your regeneration has not helped your stubbornness.
Why did Barusa regenerate?
This is a very great and, may I say, a most unexpected honor.
You said he was on his way. He came of his own volition. He didn't question it? He wasn't captured and brought in?
Now then, what can I do for you?
You could send any ass, but you chose the one with probably the biggest body count on Gallifrey?
You are one of the most evil and corrupt beings this Time Lord race has ever produced. Your crimes are without number, and your villainy without end.
Then do not send him and sentence him to death.
Nevertheless, we are prepared to offer you a full and free pardon.
He is an insane, murdering psychopath, again and again. Why? Carol Ann Ford. Why is Susan here? Yes, anniversary specials need callbacks and the presence of previously established and celebrated characters, but due to the art of storytelling itself, she needs a reason to be here. She doesn't contribute to the plot, nor does she have motivations that affect the plot in any way.
We were brought here. Perhaps the Dalek was too.
Run, grandfather!
You should have started running as soon as you saw it.
The death zone.
We interrupt Doctor Who to bring you the first DBZ OVA?
So you sent for the Doctor?
We looked for the Doctor, but he no longer exists.
At all? I know they haven't been established yet, but did you even check for his other incarnations?
We believe the attempt to lift him from his time stream was unsuccessful.
Listen, if only the High Council knows that the Fourth Doctor's abduction was unsuccessful, and that too many people can't be looking for him, and that 2 members of the High Council haven't returned, then the High Council should be suspecting its remaining party members, because who the f*** else would it be?
There he must stay until we can find and free his other selves.
Because reasons.
Why me?
Yes, why?
You would be useless to us dead.
He'd actually be even more useless alive. Give the job to Hitler. He's actually responsible for less death than the Master.
It's a dead end!
Listen to me. Now, when I say now, help me to push the Dalek down that alley. And when I say drop, drop. Understood?
But Susan just stated this was a dead end, so how's there any hallway left to hide in? Why in an anniversary special of the Doctor's greatest enemies relegated to 1 Dalek and a 1-minute sequence? They are the Daleks and deserve more respect than this. This is an insult to the reason the show was even allowed to survive.
Why were we brought here?
Instinct, my dear, tells me that the answer to that lies in the tower.
The Doctor using conjecture? How quaint.
Where the devil are we?
A shit ton of the dialogue is, why are we here and what's going on?
Catch hold of this!
Is all of this really necessary? The hill is not too steep.
Wait a moment. It's you.
Of course it's me. Hello, Sarah Jane.
It's great to have Elizabeth Sladen and all, and she was a companion to the Third Doctor, but she isn't the Third Doctor companion. So it's still as weird as ever to see her with the Third Doctor.
No, you changed. Remember? You became all,
Teeth and curls?
How is anything she said or didn't say indicative of what she meant?
Now look, young lady, make yourself useful. This young fellow looks as though he needs some refreshment, and I know that Susan and I do too.
Hang on a minute.
So Stephen Moffat's establishment of the First Doctor as a sexist asshat isn't unfounded. It's clearly based on this depiction, but this one is also fairly inaccurate. The Doctor wasn't ordering Barbara around in this particular fashion. Besides, the man is a member of a progressive race of time-traveling aliens, man. He comes from the 49th century. Why would he ever be like this?
Fortunately, one mellows with age.
One does not.
And now, we wait.
And now we wait, cliché.
There is evil at work.
Evil?
We're in the death zone on Gallifrey.
How can you be so sure?
Well, the Tomb of Rassilon.
You expect them to know what the hell that means?
Well, what do you intend to do, young man?
Young man? He's older than you.
All this was the setting for the games. But old Rassilon put a stop to it in the end. He sealed off the entire zone and forbade the use of the time scoop. Until now.
The game is named after him, so presumably it was his idea. So what caused the change of heart? Advanced Space Time Machine from the future uses Atari 600 graphics. If Bessie is f***ed up now, how does he ever use her later?
I'll come with you. I'd like to come too.
No. I think it would be safer if you were to remain here with me.
You're more concerned about Tegan than Susan?
I was recalling in point of fact an old nursery rhyme about the Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower? You mean the thing that connects the Stephen King novels?
Is this man a friend of the Doctor's?
He might be different, but that's still your grandfather, Susan. How and why are the Cybermen here? They can't have been too contented to be remnants of the game of Rassilon. They're either new here or they should have been dead a long time ago, but it's as if they've come on a mission, meaning they've been here at most a while, but not a very long time. They clearly know what's up.
Halt, or you will be destroyed!
The Cybermen stop firing for some reason and continue to let the Doctor do anything.
You will accompany us.
Sorry, mustache.
The Doctor is a dick to the Master. It wouldn't be the worst thing he's ever done, not even close. But leaving the Master to potentially die is something the Doctor wouldn't do. Who the hell am I kidding? This is the man who pulls a gun on Davros later. Classic Susan.
Who has control of the time scoop?
No one. Well, its use is prohibited.
But the machinery still exists.
Doctor, you seem to be implying that the time scoop was used to bring you.
Yes, I am rather.
But you specifically got here by TARDIS.
Then you accuse a Time Lord.
I think it would be quite an important one as well.
See? The Doctor gets it.
We will allow him to guide us to this tower. He is an alien. Aliens are not to be trusted.
That's racist.
Will you give him his freedom? Promises to aliens have no validity.
The Cybermen discuss this within earshot of the Master, and they're not even using their inside voices.
Anyway, we can't go back.
Oh, why not? You're shaking the Cybermen off?
They don't get tired, that's why not, and they never give up.
Oh, no. I remember. Okay, well, let's go then. And if I don't fall off that path, I'll probably die of fright.
Sarah Jane hasn't always been this impulsive, has she?
Their armaments are built in, and the sensors detect movement, any movement.
Anything else I shouldn't know?
Yes, they move like lightning.
This marvel of technology is a great concept that never makes its way back into the series. 10 cents.
Was that really necessary?
Well, as you can see, he was armed and trying to escape.
He doesn't even get a chance to regenerate? Damn, that's dark.
Yes, and now we're trapped, buried alive.
On the other hand, where there's a wind, there's a way.
How lucky is this?
In one of the many wars on your miserable little planet, they used to drive sheep across minefields. Principles the same?
Not quite. This minefield is still just as dangerous.
Do you think so?
It's this sort of dialogue that bogs down all of classic Who.
Doctor! Doctor, this way.
Mike? Mike Yates? How did you get here?
Same way as you. Liz Shaw is here, too.
Good heavens. Hello, Liz.
Dix brings back Yates and Liz, but not Benton.
You're not real. When you were returned to your own people, the Time Lords erased your memory of the period you spent with me. So how do you know who we are?
This is an interesting point. If the second Doctor is separated from Jamie and Zoe, then he should have been automatically sent to Earth in 1970. Why would the Time Lords allow him to travel before his exile? Also, if you could get Fraser Hines and Wendy Padbury, why not just have them accompany the second Doctor and have the Brigadier be the third Doctor's companion?
The Harp of Rassilon. I never knew he was musical. Barusa either, for that matter. Interesting. A musical key.
This is interesting. Either the Time Lords invented the harp or they adopted it from European culture. In the former scenario, the Time Lords would be interfering with the development of humanity, which is strictly taboo. If it's the latter, why would the founder of Time Lord Society be obsessed with an aspect of human culture? He was a scientist, sure, but he was mostly a biologist who restricted space-time exploration. It would be less likely he was interested in human instruments. Also, I know the only limitation for Doctor Who is basically human thought, but this scene also portrays that the Time Lords have an equal temperament system that reflects the European system. All the problems that were brought up in the last and apply to this one.
Tegan. Sarah.
And thus a musical legacy was born.
What does the inscription say?
Yes, I'd quite like to know as well.
Yes, we've all been through a great deal to get here.
It's Old High Gallifreyan, the ancient language of the Time Lords.
I'm sorry, but this is a bunch of mathematical symbols.
Killing you once was never enough for me, Doctor. How gratifying to do it 3 times over!
Just like Dr. Robotnik, or anyone for that matter, the Master doesn't recognize that killing the younger version would do him just fine. He doesn't have to go through the trouble of killing the rest. Why does Borusa need to change clothes to commence villainy? Do we need to fulfill the bad guys wear black trope?
I shall be President Eternal.
Why couldn't the villain be the Master in this case, or just a different Time Lord altogether? Borusa was an ally and didn't express any villainous tendencies in The Deadly Assassin. Also, this is the first of many episodes where the writers have clearly seen The Deadly Assassin but did not pay attention.
Doctor, are you alright?
If you could get in here, then why the hell did we have to sit through this episode? If you needed access to this room, you could have just done this yourself. Also, if you're the Lord President, just command other people to get through here. Be careful what you wish for / wish misinterpretation cliche. The third Doctor leaves Bessie behind, and if you don't think he uses her again, he does in Planet of the Spiders.
The disqualification of President Borusa leaves a gap at the very summit of the Time Lord hierarchy. There is only one who can take this place. Yet again, it is my duty and my pleasure to inform you that the full council has exercised its emergency powers to appoint you to the position of President, to take office immediately.
Stop offering this asshole the presidency! He's a rogue and a fucking terrible leader! Also, is there not an election? Isn't there a Vice Lord President? You see what I mean about watching The Deadly Assassin and not paying attention?
Immortality?